We have a new guest in the studio. We've been telling you, okay, today is the 13th. The end of the month is the 30th. You said it's a Friday, Ndu?
Yes, it is.
It's a Friday.
30th of June is a Friday.
That's it. On that day, midnight like this, clock moves and you head and find your tax returns.
Where?
Wake up in a sweat.
Penalty in answer to. Like that. And then you go, interest, my friend. So you just don't get there. It is very easy to file your tax returns. You just need to go online, log in, file your tax returns. If you don't know, we have a gentleman here from the Kenya Revenue Authority who will take us through how to file the tax returns and why it's important to do that. His name, Stephen Mwaniki. He's a tax expert at the Kenya Revenue Authority. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning.
Welcome to Kenya's biggest conversation.
Thank you very much.
Stephen, have you filed your tax returns?
Yes, I do.
Of course.
No,
I have filed.
Okay, of course.
As an ambassador, you also need to play your part. Yes.
When did you file?
I filed on, I think it was on March. Yes.
All the way in March.
I am an early bird.
Really?
Yes. Oh,
you,
yes.
you are an egg, one,
Okay.
even
Why-
before it
no,
became
no,
a bird.
I have to ask this question. Why did you file so early?
You know, basically what usually happens, at the end of the financial year, you are issued with your P9 form. So once you receive your P9 form, why wait?
Just do it.
You just do it.
So, are there benefits to filing early?
One is the time is sufficient. The system is fast
It's
and also
conducive.
Yes, in an event that there is an issue, you have the ample time to raise an issue in regards to your taxes.
So you have all the time.
Yes,
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Karibu sana, my brother.
we have the M Service app, and imagine the M Service. That app is free. It is up on Apple Store and also Play Store. So in the middle of the night, you can also download, then install, and you will be able to file your taxes.
You can file your returns.
You can file
from the app.
your returns from the app.
It's chap like that.
It's chap.
Very good.
Yes.
City. Philip is a good man.
He's an honest man.
He's an honest man.
He's a man who files his taxes
He's
early.
a hard-working man. Please give him the day's proverb.
Right. If you have no teeth, do not break the clay pot.
If you have no teeth, do not break the clay pot. What's your interpretation of this?
Well, I'm not good with proverbs.
Well, neither are we.
That in itself is a proverb.
Yes.
That's a proverb.
Yes, it is. I am not good with proverbs. Yes.
Yeah.
Muhenga anaitwa Stephen Mwaniki.
Yes.
Yeah.
Help him through it.
Let me give you an exam leakage. Yeah?
Yes.
The thing about proverbs is that it isn't a right or wrong situation. When you ask for your view will be correct because it's your view. It's not possible for your view to be wrong.
True.
Yes. That's why we ask, so what is your view? How do you interpret this proverb?
Well, means that in an event that something is about to happen, you should maybe have a sense of consideration. Yes. That's how I would really approach to it.
Consider the consequence.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask this question to you, Stephen.
Yes.
You are a tax expert.
Yes.
Who's a tax expert?
A tax expert is an individual who is trained and has gone to actually the School of Revenue and has earned some skills regards to tax.
This is the Kenya School of Revenue Administration.
Yes.
Run by KRA.
Yes.
What do they teach you there?
They have a number of courses. They have a diploma in tax administration. They also offer some courses on customs.
Okay.
Yes.
What is tax administration?
Tax administration is simply a course that will enlighten you on how to deal with your taxes. Yes.
So it's basically you know how to deal with your taxes, how
Yes.
to comply.
Yes.
And the issue here is mostly about compliance.
Yes.
Because the Kenya Revenue Authority is a tax collector, right?
True.
And your job is to help us to be able to comply with the law,
Yes.
so then we can, file our returns, we can pay when we are supposed to pay,
Yes.
and all those.
Yes.
Now, with regards to filing returns, who should file returns?
Now, according to now our revenue laws, in an event that you are issued with a PIN, it is now your responsibility to file a return. Means that you need to tell the commissioner in that year of income what engagements did you do? Are you employed? Do you have a business? It is your responsibility to ensure that you submit a tax return.
Who gets a PIN?
It is anyone who is above 18 years of age.
Do they have to be citizens of Kenya?
No. There are classifications that people get pins. If in an event that you're a foreigner, you're coming to invest, you can also get a pin.
As a company or as an individual?
Both as a company and also as an individual.
Oh, I see. So there's a foreigner who's doing business in Kenya.
Yes.
They have a KRA PIN.
Yes.
There is a Kenyan citizen who attained the age of 18, and because nowadays you people have attached a PIN to everything, open a bank account, wapi PIN, Kenya pa, wapi PIN. So all those things, so you have a PIN number.
Yes.
You also need to file your returns.
Yes.
How about if I'm a Kenyan and I have relocated to another country for work or whatever reason?
In an event that you have relocated, of course that means that if still you have an interest in Kenya, means that you are also a Kenyan. Meaning that in an event that you earn income in another jurisdiction, you still have to declare what has been earned here in Kenya because you are a resident.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. How has the process gotten easier or more difficult with iTax for us to be able to now file our returns, do it whenever? You can do it in March. We all seem to want to wait until, June the 30th. But how has the process then been made possible for anybody to be able to go in, click on, and do what you need to do?
Okay, one, iTax is online, meaning that you can access iTax in any platform with a PC, a tablet, any device with internet. And also on the same platform, we also have some materials that you can actually download and now read through on the steps on how to file your returns. And also, you can still engage the call center. Also, in an event that you're unable, what you just need to do is do an email at callcenter@kra.go.ke. Then you can even attach your P9 form, or you can now visit at any support with your P9, and they'll be able now to file for you for free.
So it's become much easier using the iTax platform.
Yes.
This is iTax.kra.
iTax.kra.go.ke.
Okay. All right. So what, and I think this is for a lot of people, the fear that we speak about coming June 30th. And maybe sometimes it's for us to understand that, you have, a year? So from June 30th, 2023 until June 29th, 2024, Are we saying we still have now? Once it clicks, you still have another year to start to think about how you're going to do it for the next year.
Actually, this is what usually happens. You know, for example, now we are in 2023.
Yes.
So you, as an individual, your account period starts from 1st of January till the 31st of December 2022, right? Meaning that you have 1st of January 2023 all the way to 30th of June to file a tax return.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we have that time. We have 6 months.
Yes.
And I know that sometimes you think about, so what would happen? Maybe somebody is late. Let's just say procrastination did not happen. There was a genuine reason why somebody was not able to do this. But lo and behold, we're on the 30th of June and we are late. And okay, it just happens to be July 1st or 2nd. What would happen? Would you say, okay, if you do it 2 days, you're fine? Just do it quickly and let's get it in? Or am I really, really too late?
Well, I would, as a taskman, as a taxman, of course, you'd be out of time because the moment it hits 1st of July, penalties will apply.
What kind of penalties are we talking about?
For
here?
a company, it is 20,000 shillings, and also for an individual, it is 2,000 or 5% of the tax, whichever is higher.
Per what? Or just a one-time penalty?
It is a one-time penalty. And of course, in an event that you had a principal amount to pay, you'd realize that you'll have a penalty of now
so say I was supposed to pay
amount?
10,000
Yes.
shillings as the tax due to carry.
Yes.
I have not filed the returns on the 30th of June. I have not paid the money. So I'm being penalized for not filing.
Yes.
And then this 10,000 I was supposed to pay, there's what? Interest on it.
Yes. There'll now be 1% interest.
Per what?
It
1%
is
of the
compounding.
amount.
Yes.
Okay.
Compounding
Yes.
per day.
Per month. Yes. You know, it's punitive just to ensure that you're within the tax law.
It's
Yes.
punitive so that you
It's encouraging you to file your tax
To
returns
file your
early.
Yes.
In time.
Actually, I don't think I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Not really. My problem is, would you say, sir, that KRA makes adequate effort to ensure that Kenyans understand the benefits of paying their taxes? Very simple. The consequences of not paying we get, because you people write some of the rudest letters people can actually possibly ever write to another human being. But that aside,
We could do etiquette later.
that aside, no, those letters are effective because they actually disable you. For around a week, you can't even think. So they're good, they're effective. But now that we've discussed the effectiveness of those letters, I'm asking the question, do you feel, sir, that KRA adequately informs the citizens of this country about the benefits of paying their taxes? I'm specifically talking about benefits because there are benefits. I know there are benefits.
Yes.
But I don't think that very many people I know actually understand the benefits of paying taxes.
Of course, the moment you pay your taxes, you will be able to actually access medical cover. You'll be able to access better roads, better services.
Yes.
Yes.
You've said it. Let me perhaps rephrase my question. Does KRA have a communication plan to continuously inform people about this? Because if we say it only in June, once June is over, we will forget. Is it something that KRA has planned so that in the course of the year, not just June, throughout, you're constantly being told and reminded so that when you pay, the possibility of feeling that you need to resist this and looking at it as something punitive is minimized.
Yes, indeed. If you're keen, from the month of February, we have had now the Ushuru Mashinani bus. This bus has been going around to all regions to ensure and encourage taxpayers to come front to actually come to be assisted in filing their taxes. And also, we are also active on the social platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
What about radio?
We have now our Kiari TV.
Okay.
Yes.
What about radio?
That's why I'm here.
I saw that coming. You must have seen that coming.
Yes.
That's why I'm
coming.
here.
You see,
Yes.
the effort I can see, and I applaud the effort. I laud the effort. It is good. KRA has actually made really very serious attempts to communicate. But what I'm trying to say is, if you start communicating in February aggressively, it is already late. It is already late because there's information someone would probably need before you get to that date. And why do I mention radio? It is because it is the one channel of communication that most people have access to.
True.
And if it's already happening, then of course I do not know what I'm talking about, and I'm out of tune, and I'm not in touch with the reality. But if not, it's something that should be considered because this is important. It's important to pay taxes, but it's important for people to. You see, there are people who are entering this tax bracket now.
Yes.
Up until then, they have not had any interest in understanding tax matters. And there are many. There are very, very many. Isn't it important for these people to understand these things even as they begin this process of earning and paying, so that going forward, they themselves will understand the need to volunteer, the need to just do this.
Are you taking this to schools, City?
I always take things to school. You know that. I'm going to take it to school.
One initiative. Sorry. One initiative that we actually do is we invite taxpayers who are newly registered. Every month we have free engagements at Times Tower, 5th floor, for every
in
month.
Nairobi.
Yes. And also it also happens across the regions.
Okay.
We do train those that are newly registered for VAT, pay as you earn, TOT, and excise, just to ensure as they onboard their engagements, they are aware of what is expected from them.
How do you measure the effectiveness of this process that you've just spoken of?
Okay, what we usually do, we do a report just to ensure that those that we have trained, we are able now to now check, have they filed, have they paid? Because that is now what we use to gauge ourselves on now monthly basis.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you see that there is an understanding? I mean, look at maybe today where you have the authority being able to speak and share information.
Yes.
This was something that never used to happen before.
True.
It was pay your taxes or you get thrown in the slammer, whatever. I mean, it wasn't a conversation.
Yeah.
Let's try and make you understand. Do you think that, or do you see now, that as you're sharing more information, the information is digitized, the process is, digitized as well. Do you see that there is an understanding of the correlation between paying of taxes and development? Or do people still see that we're going to pay tax because if we don't, there's something that's going to happen to us? As opposed to, let's all get into this thing together, pay a little bit of what I earn so that, in this case, maybe a lot more than a little bit, but what I earn, so that we can contribute to development. Do you see that there is a change in the understanding?
Yes. Based on the trend, we are still low, but we are still getting there, because tax indeed is a process, and we are trying to create a relationship just to ensure that we work with the taxpayer, because now we know now the business environment sometimes has its up and downs, and we also try to now talk to stakeholders and government, just to ensure that whatever we collect goes into good use.
Good use.
Yes.
Do you ever tell government, this is too much money that you're
This target
charging
is
Kenyans?
unrealistic.
Can we reduce it a little bit? Do you ever say that?
Basically, what we do is we are given a task to collect. That is our mandate.
Don't ask questions.
No,
That is our mandate.
not to advise the government.
Let's take a break.
Our
Let's
job
take
is to collect.
Let's take a break. It's 8:30. This is Kenya's biggest conversation. Stephen Mwaniki is a tax expert from the Kenya Revenue Authority. He's here with us this morning, reminding us the importance of filing the tax returns by the end of this month, because June 30th is the deadline. But you have had all this window open between January and June. Stephen himself filed his returns in March. I filed my returns, I don't remember when. Ndu, you don't have a pin.
I do. Excuse me. Excuse me.
We can start with you.
8003. Should I continue?
City.
Yes, I pay taxes.
We'll be back shortly. Good morning.
Spice.
Conversation continues with tax expert Stephen Mwaniki from the Kenya Revenue Authority, talking about the importance of filing tax returns. Sometimes, Stephen, after you file the returns, then there's what you do with the information, which is you start now reconciling and seeing this is what you claim to have been your income, and this income came from these sources, and then do you counter check with those sources?
Yeah, remember, it is also an avenue that you're able now to look at your income and know what is whether your business is growing, because indeed I always say that filing of a return, it will also give you a good avenue to ensure that you keep your records, and also you maintain your books of accounts. Yes.
Why?
Because one, it is a requirement for anyone in business. You are expected to maintain your books of accounts for at least 5 years in 2 official languages, English or Kiswahili.
What are books of accounts?
Books of accounts, this could include invoices, receipts, debit notes, credit notes, and so forth.
Keep them for 5 years.
Yes.
Okay, you need to
In
have
a storage that has been paid for by KRA and my own space.
Not really. You can engage in your own. You could have a file or a digital media, because in an event that now we want to do compliance, would have to look at your books of accounts just to monitor your trend in terms of compliance.
Okay, just walk us through what comprises what you've referred to as the book of accounts.
Now, in an event, let's say you're in business, you've issued an invoice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you have been paid.
Yeah.
So, meaning whatever receipt that you have received and what you have issued out, you need to keep a copy. That's what I mean.
So, and what if I do not have a business?
In an event that you do not have a business, the law still allows you to file a nil return. Yes.
You know what I'm thinking of? Huh? The bulk of the citizens of this country live in the rural areas.
Yes.
And many of them, again, the bulk of this bulk are subsistence farmers.
Yes.
Now, that means most of what they grow is for them to consume, but they sell some. Okay? There's this raft of new laws that have come about. Now, how do you get such an individual to understand what I'd mentioned earlier about the benefits of paying taxes? Because if I'm a subsistence farmer, I do earn some money and I do spend some money. Or if I'm a subsistence farmer, am I exempted from this onerous task of every year filing tax returns and indicating what I have made and what I haven't made? And how do I go about this? How do I go about this process of being compliant?
So one, remember, in an event that you're into farming, let's say your main is just subsistence farming. You are also in business. Section 15 of the Income Tax Act now allows you to claim expenses that are attributable to your business.
Yeah, I like this claim thing. Repeat it again.
Meaning
Yes.
that, of course, for you to derive at your taxable amount, so you have declared your turnover. Then, of course, you need to now have expenses that are related to the business. Now, once you deduct your expenses, now you derive at now your taxable income. Of course, if it is a company, it will hit at 30%. If it's an individual, of course, the graduated rates will apply.
Okay.
Yes.
Does KRA have a plan where they train some of these government officials who function at the very foundational levels of communities, say like chiefs and the assistants and headmen?
Yes. We have now the stakeholder engagement team that actually handles such trainings.
What do they do exactly?
Basically they attend barazas to just to ensure that they now bring this information closer to the people.
Okay. Is there a curriculum that KRA has for disseminating this information at the community level?
We normally use now the mostly we actually interact now with now people of the community. For example, now when we want to get let's say landlords in Kariobangi, just
as an example.
Yes, we actually go now up to now the Nyumba Kumi. We get now the elders that are situated in that region. Then we organize a forum.
How often do you
for now? We do it like the last that we had was in the month of April, because we got some landlords and we had an engagement with them. We trained them. They also raised some issues that would now escalate, just to ensure that we provide an environment which is better for them.
You know, KRA has a very important function.
Yes.
And without KRA, this country can't actually function or move. If you didn't exist, there'd be no entity to collect revenue, and so the government wouldn't have money.
Yes.
Has KRA ever gotten into an arrangement with the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development to see how it is you can introduce this subject of tax into the school curriculum, so that children interact with this concept early in life? So as even when they don't pay, so that when they get to a point where now they are required to pay, like the people you ask to come to Times Tower, it's not something that is strange to them. It's something that they've learnt about. It's something that they've been told about, they've talked about, discussed, and they understand.
Okay. Currently, we also engage. We've started with now the tax clubs that are currently in schools and also universities. We have launched a few, and we are still going now down to now the secondary schools, just to ensure that we build capacity from that point.
Not in primary.
Not yet.
That's where you should start. Forgive me for being prescriptive,
Yes.
but at the earliest possible stage,
Yes.
when a child is in those formative years and moving along,
True.
something this important ought to be introduced to them so they understand it.
Very true.
So that it's not something that they, as I said, I'm using the word resist,
Yeah.
because part of the problem that you will have is we resist paying taxes and we avoid when we can. And I'm talking about a situation where that doesn't arise because it's something you're familiar with and you even understand. And even if you don't see the benefits, but it's been explained and you can understand where, because it may be there and you take it for granted, and yet it is because of the tax that is paid.
Very true.
Yes.
I agree with you.
You agree with me?
Yes.
Completely.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Duncan Mususi says, I failed to file my returns in 2015 and 2016. By the time I was filing for those 2 years, I was penalized 20K each. I now owe them 40K as we speak. Why did they penalize me 20K instead of 2K, Buana, as he says? You said 2K.
Okay, from 2018, there was a change in law that now reverted back from 20K to now the 2,000.
2,000.
Yes.
So can Duncan be, some Howard?
Has he tried to
So what should he do?
engage? Okay, one, he should do a letter explaining the reasons why he failed to file
the return.
and also attach a convincing evidence for us now to prove that indeed he was unable to file. Yes, because now it is being worked on case by case basis.
Okay.
Yes.
My daughter got her PIN number
Yes.
in the month of June. Should she file her returns this year or wait for next year?
If she got a PIN this year, means that she'll be expected to file now from now next year.
From next year.
Yes.
Okay. So anybody who's basically registered and received their PIN in this calendar year
Yes.
does not have to file
Yes.
this time.
Yes.
But come January
Next year.
2024,
Yes.
they are required to file.
Yes.
If you got your PIN on the 31st of December 2022,
Yes, indeed. You'll just declare whatever that was earned in that
on that day.
day. Yes. Yeah. Very, very true. Yeah.
I wanted to just go back to that question that City was asking about. So majority of folks don't reside in what would be urban centers, majority. And looking at then the efforts that are being made to get everybody on the grid tax wise.
Yes.
How is that going? Because right now it seems that there's a lot of pressure to say collect, like you said, collect. But in terms of sensitization and awareness of this and getting more of this 50 million people on the grid, what's Kerry doing about that to even get an understanding as to what this is all about? The person who is in the rural, who is doing her little business, the person who's building, again, in the rural area, they're supposed to be paying taxes on some. I mean, they already do by virtue of the fact that they wake up and breathe air into their lungs every day. We know that.
Yeah.
But then there's activities that they do then that require them to pay a tax at whatever level. They may not understand it, couldn't be bothered because they don't see anybody. So if you don't see anybody, it doesn't exist, right?
True.
So what then would the authority be doing to get everybody to get this understanding around those who are not hearing or seeing this iTax jumping at you every day?
So basically, what we try to do is now we try to ensure that one, we create as many platforms to ensure that we get everyone on board. Even you can attest. Now we've had discussions via Twitter Space. We have discussions through Facebook. We have also sent out teams just to ensure that they now speak on vernacular radio stations, just to ensure that we pass this information to until the last person. Yes.
Someone's asking whether you're also on TikTok.
TikTok, we are coming up. Yes.
Basically, you're trying to be as active on all platforms.
Yes.
As much as possible.
Yes.
To engage us. One of the things I must commend is the KRA response team on KRA Care.
Yeah.
On Twitter and Instagram.
Yes.
Very responsive.
Thank you.
Catch a joke easily, and they also respond to a joke with a joke. But also at the same time, trying to create as much awareness as possible, with anyone who's asking.
Yeah.
Now, with all this kind of engagement, of course, you're the ones who issue the pin. So you know the number of people who have pin numbers out there.
Yes.
And therefore, you know the target of the returns that you ought to see at the end of the year.
Yes.
What is the compliance rate? If you were to look at 2022, what was filed by the 30th of June 2022 versus what you expected?
Okay. Based on now the current trends, we've had a growth, because you realize now the growth, it is attributable to us reaching out and trying to now ensure that we start early, we engage discussions, we engage interactions through now the platforms, and also for my team at Taxpayer Education, we do interact with taxpayers on a monthly basis. So it has proven to ensure that we are having a growth, though we are still not yet there, but we are coming up.
So is the compliance 40%,
Yes.
50%,
Yes.
100%?
There's a growth.
Yeah, what's a percentage?
Yes.
Yeah, come on. You can just tell us. Are you saying that you have 11? How many pins have you issued? Do you have the number offhand?
Not quite.
Not offhand.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's in the millions.
True.
Now, those that file their returns, much as you're saying, yes, there's a growth, is it in the above 50%, the above 60%, the 90%?
Okay. Cumulatively, last year we hit at around 94%.
Kenyans are compliant people. You see, Kenyans follow the law.
No, Kenyans
And
do
they
follow the
comply.
law. Kenyans do. They could be.
The question is, are they?
Does the
and I
law
think
follow
maybe-
Kenyans? Or does the law lead?
or and then is it reciprocal in nature, whereby all right, you're doing what you ought to do, and then do you get the services which were being told that you would? And I know what you said earlier is that you're not you're the collector. You collect. You've been told to collect, so you collect.
Yes.
In terms of what's being done with it thereafter, I mean, it's not under your lens, right?
Yes.
But then to also understand the process, and I think that's the thing, maybe that's another thing to look at for, is that are people paying because they're still scared of the punitive nature of what might happen later, or because there is an understanding that all of us are in this thing together and we must pay tax so that the country can go forward?
Basically, whatever we try to ensure is voluntary compliance. Yes, that is what we always try to ensure. Yes.
Just let's draw a parallel, say, with religious institutions where people give alms voluntarily.
Yes.
Now, what they give has a direct correlation with the benefit they feel they derive from this institution. And I use the word specifically religious, as broad as possible. People give. When you look at this kind of people we call philanthropists, someone makes money and decides they are going to also ensure that they give to society, build a school and what have you.
Yes.
Okay? Put a foundation, whatever it is that people do. There's something, for people to feel this need, there must be a benefit. I'm going back to what I said earlier on. An understanding of benefits which exist, people must know it. That it exists is never enough. They must know and understand. An understanding is not what you think they understand. They must feel it. And when they feel it, the response will tell you they've understood it.
Yes.
Yes. The disaster that is Shakahola, unfortunately, serves as that example. There is absolutely no way that large number of people would have gone there if there were no benefits attached to it. You can call it bizarre. You can call it completely, something completely off the charts. But they saw the benefit. I may not see the benefit. I may not even understand it. But they saw it. Now, human beings respond to things that they feel are useful to them. It's not complicated. I'm really overloading this thing, but I feel it is necessary. If you collect money, it means there is money. You, more than anybody else as KRA, or you have access to money. And this money, I sometimes feel, isn't adequately used to tell the Mwananchi what it is you do and how it is this thing benefits them. Not adequately. Thought is given to it, changes are made, one sees them, and they are good. But a lot more needs to be done, my view.
City, who should do it? Is it the collector or is it the user of the money? Because KRA collects, gives it to the National Treasury, then the executive use the money.
The executive, unfortunately,
The beneficial owner.
the beneficial owner are politicians. Okay, politicians in this country, by and large, have guaranteed that we don't trust them. It's not us who don't want to trust them; they are the ones who guaranteed that we trust them as little as possible. KRA are an honest group of people, but by and large, we know what they do. They, in my opinion, have the duty. They are more likely to be believed when they say what they like to say. If what they are supposed to say is said by a politician, I will sit upright and disbelieve it even before the sentence is complete.
So, for example, the things that Stephen has told us,
Yes.
if you pay taxes, then you have access to better roads, you have access to better health care. What we'll start asking Steve, like in hospitali ifanye kazi. He can't answer.
No, he can't. But I am telling Stephen this so that he understands that compliance begins with knowledge. Somebody understands something, you've taken them one step towards compliance.
So we're saying the likelihood of somebody complying is greater if they understand this thing that they're doing.
Yes.
They don't understand it.
And
the
that's why I
likelihood of
focus
them-
on benefit. If they understand it, even as they say, okay, healthcare, you'll say, okay, the hospital exists. And some people do get benefits. It could be improved on. Now, you see, that's when we engage executive, because once KRA has gotten the money and given it, it's not their duty to ensure those things happen. They collect so that those things can be done. Yes. But we need to know and understand. I will take the road for granted, but that road wouldn't happen if all these Kenyans didn't pay their taxes. Yes. And everyone counts. That's really what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes.
Good one. Linda says, Philip, that you've told us, Stephen, you've told us there that you conduct free workshops regularly, actually monthly, right?
Yes.
For taxpayers of various categories, including new taxpayers.
Yes.
Linda says now, calling new taxpayers to that building called Times Tower, please rethink. That building is intimidating. How about you call them elsewhere? A more palatable place. New taxpayer and then
We
come
have
to
other
Times Tower.
You might go there and never come out.
We have other avenues. No, I believe that's I would call it fear of the unknown, because again, we have revisionalized KRA. Now it's friendly, it is accessible, and we are seeing people coming up to engage with us through training.
Okay.
And also, apart from the physical, we also have online platforms.
Virtual training.
Yes,
Indeed.
that we do engage.
Okay.
Yes.
Linda Gola, maybe you should visit Times Tower. It's changed from the last time you were there. Thank you very much, Stephen, for joining us today. Stephen Mwaniki is a tax expert from the Kenya Revenue Authority. He's been here reminding us the importance of filing tax returns and also telling us it's pretty easy. Just go to itax.kra.go.ke. You can also download the app. It's called what? The app?
M-Service app.
The M-Service app.
Yes.
That's it. Download that, and it's also easy for you to file from the app.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.